Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. As promised, this is part 2 of our crash results review, and we're going to be looking at the jacket that was involved, the Joe Rocket Atomic 5.0. Did it perform as good as the showy helmet part 1? Stick with me and let's find out. I previously posted a complete review of the Atomic 5.0, and it's been my daily driver for about 3 years now, and I've really enjoyed having it as part of my protective gear. As we dive in, you'll see why I'm not feeling quite as warm and fuzzy about it now as I have for the last few years. I'll state the obvious and point out that the only difference between this jacket and mine is the color, but I just wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page. I also want to mention that the rider was wearing gauntlet-style gloves with the jacket secured around the outside of the gauntlet. I can quote my friend as describing, "I slid on my right knee and shoulder and my forearm pinned under me." The damage to the jacket definitely confirms this, and luckily there was no other impact with another vehicle or object. Again, I want to provide as much detail as I can. Just like the helmet, the initial impact was on the right side of the jacket at multiple locations. I'll start at the cuff and work my way up. You can see a couple of smaller spots of wear at the wrist and cuff area that don't seem too bad, but as we move up the arm you can see a large hole at the forearm that goes all the way through both the outer and inner layer. This hole led to a decent spot of road rash that could have obviously been worse without a jacket on, but nonetheless, I would like to have seen the textile hold up just a little bit better than it did. The edges of the material have kind of a burnt, charred feel that indicates the amount of heat that the fabric was actually exposed to. At the elbow, we see the first bit of action to the reinforced Rock-Tex fabric. This fabric is located in the higher impact areas like the elbow, and we see that there are a couple of small holes where it wore through to the CE level approved padding. The seam was also worn a little bit, but still held up okay. This area also has the same burnt feeling, but held up much better than the forearm, so I can definitely see a difference in the strength of the Rock-Tex fabric. The bicep area has a good bit of wear around the ventilation zipper, and having the extra fabric to accommodate this looks like it helped out by adding extra layers of fabric to wear through. Even though there are holes in the outer layer, the inner layer is still intact. We have the second spot of the Rock-Tex at the shoulder, and we can see that once again the tough material did a great job of really holding up nicely, with the only real issue coming at the seam where it's attached to the main shell. And even though the seam failed, the hole didn't penetrate through the inner layer. Moving into the chest area is the next abrasion point. One large hole and one small hole, the main points of interest, and even though the larger hole is a decent size, the inner layer is still good. The left side of the jacket looks almost completely untouched except for a spot on the cuff and one small spot on the shoulder that you almost can't even see. Finally, on the back side, we see a large scuff that handled what seems like light action, and I'm sure my friend appreciated the spine armor that comes standard with the 5.0. This just reinforces my opinion that all jackets should come with some type of padding, even if it's not the highest CE rating level. So what's my personal verdict? I can honestly say that I was both pleased and disappointed with how the jacket performed. I feel like the Rock-Tex reinforced higher impact areas did really well, but the areas without caused enough concern for me to want to replace my Joe Rocket with something different. I would give the jacket a 3-star rating, and with the amount of other options in the textile jacket arena, I'll be looking for another option as my daily rider. Thanks for watching today, and stay tuned for part 3 where I review the pants worn in the crash and we'll see how they fared. If you enjoyed the review, don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. And as always, gear up and be safe. I'll see you guys soon.